Hey guys, we're back again. Today's quote is going to be dealing with coming up with a schedule, which is kind of our focus for the day. We've been in coronavirus quarantine for 2 weeks. Many of you have become alcoholics, and now you've sobered up, and now we're trying to get ourselves into kind of a rhythm of how this is going to go. So our quote for the day is: "If you talk about it, it's a dream.
If you envision it, it's possible.
But if you schedule it, it's real." So that's kind of what we want to talk about, is just scheduling. So first thing to do is create a schedule. Give yourself some kind of structure. Otherwise, you kind of go crazy not having any kind of structure. So we had 3 points to come up with your schedule, or three things you should kind of think about as you come into making a schedule. The first is make a schedule you want. So a lot of times people will sit down and they'll come up with a schedule of all the things they think they should be doing. And they'll overplan it, and they'll put a bunch of stuff they don't want to do into that schedule, making it nearly impossible to follow. Nobody wants to be a tyrant on themselves and do a bunch of things they don't want to do all day, every day. So plan things that you want to do in there. The list or the schedule should be something that at the end of the day, when you get done, you'll feel happy about how you spent your day. Not like someone's been cracking the whip on your back all day. So it should also include things you enjoy. So it's often good to kind of schedule something that's a little bit maybe more work related in the morning, knowing that in the afternoon you'll have a little bit more free time. Our second point is going to be prioritizing the harder items first. I say that with a little bit of a caveat. You also want to start with some simple items. So a lot of times people talk about making your bed, right? That's an easy, simple first thing you do in the morning. It kind of sets the tone for organizing yourself. For me, studying, meditation, these are things that a lot of times the day will kind of get in the way of, and I'll find excuses not to do them. So for me, doing it first thing in the morning is super important. A lot of people view the early morning Zoom class as like, that's first thing, get that workout in, you're done with it, you kind of start your day off with a lot more energy, and you're pretty happy with yourself in terms of getting something harder done earlier. Last thing is, the day will always find a way to get in the way of things that you don't want to do. So putting things on a schedule that you don't necessarily want to do first gets it out of the way early. You can be done with a lot of your harder items by 9, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and then you have the rest of your day to do what you want to do. So third thing?
Not really the third thing, but sample day. So we wrote out here kind of a sample of like a schedule. This obviously is going to be different for everyone, but just to give you an idea. And one of the reasons why we think this is super important is that most people, when we're living in like our normal life, everybody kind of had a routine. Everybody knew when they had to drop their kids off at school and go to class and go to work. So everybody had like a schedule, whether you wrote it down or not. Everybody's on a pretty like solid routine. Now everybody's kind of stuck at home, and we don't necessarily have a written schedule out, and that can kind of get us off of our routine. So this can be super helpful, just kind of planning your day out as if you had things you had to do outside of your house. And some of you may still have to do those things. But sample 5:30 a.m. Say you wake up, you start your coffee, or have your coffee. 6 a.m. you have the Zoom class. At 7 a.m. maybe you wake your kids up, you shower, you get dressed, you have breakfast. At some point between 8:30 and 9, maybe that's time that you do work, whatever life you have to do. Maybe kids, you got to go to school, or you got to get homeschooled in. Then you can kind of schedule playtime with your kids. Like I know your kids are probably home all day, but maybe schedule time for you to like play and hang out with your kids. Maybe you've got to work again in the afternoon, so like 1 to 5 can be afternoon, and then between 5 and 7 you've got kids and dinner. And then maybe you schedule time to like read or write a gratitude list, and then maybe you schedule time to like relax and have quality time with your significant other. I don't know what your schedule looks like. I don't have kids, so I have no idea what it looks like to have kids sitting at home right now. But regardless, the point is to create whatever that schedule is. So everybody's having to work right now at home or in some extent. So what hours do you have to work? Map out the stuff that you have to do first, and then move around those hours before and after and in between. Put some stuff in there that you actually look forward to doing, and make it something that it's not an option. You schedule it and it's not an option. Like just get up, go to it, get your shit done.
Last point, prepare to adjust. The schedule that you come out with tomorrow or whenever you do this is not going to be the schedule that works for you. Just plan to kind of redo it. It's not a final draft. The last thing I'll leave you guys with is don't overreach on this. Make it simple, especially for things that you don't want to do. Make it easier on yourself. The quote we'll kind of leave with you guys with is that people overestimate what they can do in a day, but underestimate what they can do in a week, month, or year. So take small little baby steps to start, and then fill it in as you guys get better at it. Thank you.